Hey, it's Kristi. I wanted to share some thoughts that I had from a book that I just recently finished. It's called The Compound Effect. If you have not read The Compound Effect, I strongly recommend it. But some of my big takeaways is subtle, little, tiny amounts over time wind up being something really, really amazing, right? Really big. So it can go in a positive way, it can go in a negative way. So, an extra beer or soda every day or an extra treat every day over time will show up in places that you may not want it to show up at. But what about the things that could really bring about positive change in your life? So little incremental shifts. Is there something little that you can start with to just create some positive change in your life? So let me give you a couple of examples. If savings is a really big goal of yours, but you just don't even know where to start, there's a lot of apps that you can look at that can simply round up or do a forced savings of any dollar amount. I've just recently started Acorns, and I know that there's other apps out there as well. What I love about this one is you can have a set dollar amount get pulled out of your regular bank account every single week, and then it also rounds up. So every time I swipe my debit card, it rounds up the change to the next dollar, and then when there's $5 in there worth, it pulls it over. It's really an extraordinary way to just not really miss the money, but over time it starts accumulating into something that is worthy. And then Acorns invests that money for you. It's not just sitting there stagnant. So we actually make money off of it. So I'm not promoting Acorns, I'm just saying it's simply an app that I use and I like. So that's a really great way to get started on some forced savings. And you'll see that accumulation, that compound effect take place. So what else could bring about positive change in your life? Let's say you just really don't know where to start with your health and fitness, but you know that you've got to do something different. A long time ago, I learned about couch potato to 5K, and that's basically saying, hey, start with a brisk walk. Go for 10 minutes, then the next day go for 15 minutes, then build up to 30 minutes. And then once you've got some endurance under you, then turn it into a slow jog, a faster jog, and to the point that you're actually running, and then build up on it, compound effect, until you're literally running a 5K. So that's a great way to get into action. What else could you look at where you can start with some small incremental changes? If you're looking to break a bad habit or start a great habit, just start with a little change. Sometimes a drastic 180 is not always the way to go. Confession time, I used to smoke cigarettes. It was the worst habit out there, in my opinion. It was costing a lot of money. It costs your health, and it's not so sexy, right? So from the age of 13 years old, when I had my first cigarette, all the way to 30, it was my birthday present to myself on my 30th to quit. But I had tried all of these other different measures, and then I started realizing in order to conquer that really bad habit, I needed to start weaning myself off. So going from a pack of cigarettes a day really down to just a few a day, it makes it that much easier when I was able to truly commit. And you know what, guys, change is hard. That was the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my entire life, is break that habit. It had a hold on me. There's no doubt it had a hold on me. And most things in life that are worth having are not easy, or they can be very scary. And you just have to have the courage to be bigger than that fear of failing, and be okay with failing. If you fail, it's not a forever failure, it's a temporary setback, and you got to find a different way to get there. All right, back onto compound effect. So you start in little tiny changes. So maybe starting in a new habit. If you're wanting to work out every single day, but you're not really quite sure where, pick a time of the day that could work for you, and maybe certain days of the week. For me, Mondays are really hard days in my world, not only because I'm coming off of the weekend, it just happens to be the busiest day because of the business that I'm in. This business, real estate, happens over the weekend. So on Monday, we get hit full force. It's an awesome day. There's just no way I could add, say, a workout or something like that on a Monday, where maybe on a Wednesday or Friday, I certainly could. So if you want to work out and you don't know where to start, maybe you look at what time of the day and then also what days of the week might work for you. So if you're not a morning person and there's no energy left at the end of the day, maybe you take your lunch break and you make that your time of exercise when you've got that energy in the middle of the day, and hopefully some allotted time that is allowed to be used however you see fit. So start looking at things in your life that aren't bringing you a lot of joy. How do you dismiss it or get rid of it or move your energy away from it? How do you bring in things that you're wanting to have? So a healthy routine, let's see what else. Time for the things that are important for you. I'll give you another example. I have a written goal that this year I'm going to read or listen to 50 books. So that's a pretty audacious goal, I know. And I don't know why I randomly chose 50. I guess that, 52 weeks in the year, thought maybe I could knock that out. So I'm well on my way to accomplishing that. I'm on pace for where I want to be. So I'm excited about that. But I tell you this example because I had to literally carve time out of my schedule. Where am I going to put in this time to be able to read the books? Because if your schedule is like mine, it's kind of all over the place. So I literally have time in my week scheduled out to read because that brings me joy. But I had to be intentful with that time and intentional with scheduling that in. So compound effect. What do you want that is really big and out there that you can start off with tiny little changes to help tweak and make that happen? And then over time, it will grow to what your actual goal is. So whatever it is, get into action and just know that taking little baby steps is your first way to get there. So thanks for watching. Again, the book I'm referring to is Compound Effect. I recommend it. It's an easy read. It's got some great content and some really amazing examples of positive and negative compounds over time and how to maximize the effects of time. So take care, my friends. Thanks for joining me for another video. We'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, stay well.